Alrighty, what is up, guys? Ronaldo here. Welcome back to the channel. Always appreciate you guys smashing the like button if you get something out of these videos. This is the newest trade I just entered. I'm not going to tell you, where my stop loss is or where I'm taking profits. If you guys are interested in that, check out the Discord down below. I'm pretty confident on this one, but sometimes, whenever you're the most confident and most deterministic, what always happens, you always get, stopped out or whatever. But that's life. But I am pretty. We'll talk about it in a second. I do think there's a lot of, a lot of potential here. And if you guys are interested in getting one free month in the Discord or trading, I should say, check out BloFin down below. 20% cash back off your fees for life. We got a good bonus going on right now. In addition, BYDFI is great as well. For BloFin, you do need to use a VPN in some areas, but there is no KYC. For BYDFI, there's no VPN required or KYC. Nice deposit bonus going on until November 1st, so you got 10 more days about. And yeah, it's a good deposit bonus, 20% off your fees for life on my link as well. Check it out if you guys are interested in trading, and make sure if you deposit at least $100, open a support ticket in the Discord with your UID or your email, and we'll give you one free month there. So yeah, we got Nightshade there, came back in there, a lot of good traders. So mainly swing trades, what I do. I think that's the least stress way to kind of do this, at least in my opinion. So yeah. Let's get into Bitcoin. What are we looking at? Trigger waves forming. This is what I was telling you guys yesterday. I mean, potentially, a jump like this is what you could potentially see. You had that trigger wave. Hopefully this one plays out. I mean, it could be even better. It could play out like this one. You see you had a wick there, just like the wick right now. And there you go. You could rally to a new all-time high mid-November, potentially. That could be your market cycle peak, something like that. And then the most important thing we want to realize here, and I talked about it yesterday, is what we need to do. I was mentioning it on Paul Barron, too. I was on Paul Barron's channel last Friday. And what I said was we needed to break above within the next few days, hopefully by Monday now, break above 108K. What have we done? We broke above 108K. That's momentous. That's huge. That means in all likelihood, this bull run is not over and things could keep going. That's what it really means here. That I'm very, I was a little nervous. I was a little afraid, but now I'm now I'm more confident. So I do think we could continue forward. Now let's talk about the other stuff that people care about. So Ethereum, we need to hold 3,700. We have held 3,700. It would be nice to hold 4,000 here. And if you look at these waves, this jump upward, potentially jump up to 4,500. I'm pretty confident on Ethereum, and we'll talk about in just a second the Ethereum Bitcoin evaluation. I think that'll keep showing strength against Bitcoin. You got a tight on target all the way up at your kind of old all-time high 4,800, and yeah, we should be headed there. Hopefully, next 10 days could be very bullish into the end of this month. I could see next 10 days into the end of this month potentially aiming towards those new all-time highs, and then making a new all-time high 50, somewhere around here in 55,000 by early November, maybe up to 5,800. Those are all potential places where you could peak out. 5,000, 5,800, 7,300 on the highest end, in my opinion, by the end of the year. So that's a big point there, and overall, definitely less worrisome than it's been. Definitely less worrisome than it's been. Trigger wave forming here in the 3-day as well, which is, it's always going to be a pretty bullish sign. I mean, you had this, this rally upward here, and if we look at this, I mean, this would probably, obviously, it would extend out into 2020. Oh, no, it actually wouldn't. So that's December there, and I could easily see a peak at 6,000 in December. So a lot of good things here. And like I always mention, guys, in like every single video, this 3-week red dot, we don't want this to print and confirm. When this prints and confirms, I think that would be a pretty big sign that the bull run is over. But so far we're in the clear here. So far we're in the clear. ETH versus Bitcoin, 4-day trigger wave, very bullish situation. This one didn't play out too well, but if you look hard enough, you could find, if we do compare this to previous, you didn't see your altcoin season yet this cycle, but here was your altcoin season in 2021, the beginning of it, or at least part of it, your ETH season or whatever. That was your first half of 21 was generally your altcoin season from, January to May. Here's this big jump up. So it's not going to be that crazy, I don't think, but it could easily go up to some of these areas on your ETH Bitcoin evaluation. I mean, obviously, if you look at, where was it? Like end of 2017, this was from that was this, a lot happened in December, which was wild. So we'll see. I would argue probably a lot of volatility in the coming months. So, it's exciting. Bitcoin dominance, I could see it going up a little bit more. I would look for this like 4-day trigger wave to the downside to really get the ball rolling for, altcoins here, hopefully. I kind of don't think you're going to go back up to freaking, 62, but you could go back up to 60 and a half or something. I think you'll bounce around these areas and then eventually, kind of drop downward. Total three, we would be hoping for, if you do see some alts do well, your average alt to go up, 60%, maybe even more if things get really crazy. I feel like kind of 2.5 trillion is too optimistic, but this could rally a bit. This definitely could rally a bit. And if you look at others right there. I mean, this is interesting. This didn't make a new all-time high yet in this cycle. However, I could easily see a jump back up to, this area, maybe a new all-time high in this cycle. Maybe it's a little bit too optimistic to, they say 750 billion, but crazier things have happened. We are getting to the end of quantitative tightening. You may hear that announcement at the end of it this month. So we'll see what happens. We'll definitely have to see what happens. I mean, I would say looking pretty good in the 2-day. And total three versus Bitcoin. I mean, this is the big thing I've been talking about, end of October, early November, you got that bottom, and then you got another one, December. So we got time. I would say we got a little bit of time here. And as long as you kind of get more green Heikin-Ashi candles, I'd be really looking for a weekly green Heikin-Ashi candle similar to over there to have a lot of momentum, on this chart. Others versus Bitcoin too. I wanted to show you guys because we crashed, it went away, but you did have a rare bull sign on this 2-month now. Can this print and confirm within the next 11 days? I don't know. Probably not, honestly, because it's such a large time frame. But if we do pump in the next 10 days, ETH at a new all-time high or whatever, and that's the most important. That's important to realize too. Once ETH makes a new all-time high decisively and kind of holds it, then you'll probably have more money go into alts. Now, do we need Bitcoin to make a new all-time high before that? Maybe. But then again, we're not that far away from that. It's not that it shouldn't take us too long to hit. So, you see Bitcoin make a new all-time high end of this month, ETH early November, and then from early November into mid-December, early December, you see a lot potentially going to alts. I could definitely see that happening. Others versus ETH, look at this 2-week. You're about to get a green dot. That could rally for a couple months here, something of that nature. And then if we look at, some alts, Chainlink is, as long as you kind of hold 18, I would remain bullish on Chainlink. Like I said, we got a little bit of time. We got some time here and, kind of forming a nice wave here. So I do think Chainlink could be one of them that does, jump back up to close to all-time highs or potentially does make a new all-time high. You don't need much more than a 2x to make a new all-time high here. So there's that potential. There's some news that's good on it, although that doesn't always, mean too much. I don't know. I was looking at ApeCoin just for the, just for laughs, I guess. If you hold, this low from April, 34, generally you should be able to hopefully jump back up to $1 or something like that. That's what I would say for a lot of altcoins here. Like, what is realistic? I mean, XRP too. I could see this, jumping up to maybe $4. I don't think it'll make a full 2x, but maybe $4 is a new all-time high. We could also look at one I've always liked to look at. One I've kind of liked the fundamentals on, Avalanche. And yeah, I mean, if you could just break above 38, theoretically your target would be close to all-time high or something, but maybe that's a little bit too far-fetched. I also wanted to show you guys one of the boring ones lately. I mean, Cardano, and I'm trying to, hopefully we would break above, 70 and then get back up to like this area and then, keep going or whatever. But yeah, you just try to find like those bullish signs, and the thing is just too boring sideways. It just doesn't, have the caliber, you know what I mean? But I do think you could break upward from this kind of reverse head and shoulder situation forming here. So, that's kind of my optimism for Chainlink right now. But ETH and Bitcoin right now leading the pack, and the majority of my portfolio right now is in Ethereum. So that's what I'm really, or long-term portfolio, I should say. That's what I'm really excited about, potentially 5,800, some of these areas. So I think ETH is probably one of the best bets right now. And I do think, overall ETH and Bitcoin do look better than most altcoins right now. So Yeah, that's pretty much all I have right now, guys. If you enjoyed the update, smash the like button. If you guys are interested in trading, check out BloFin and BitFi down below. Links are down below, and check out the Discord as well. Subscribe if you guys are new. Always appreciate you guys. Have a good one. Goodbye.